Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. Wanted to show you this. This is from a couple days ago. Our security team has been tracking a persistent threat group that targets the NFT community. We believe that they may soon be launching a coordinated attack targeting multiple communities via compromised social media accounts. Please be vigilant and stay safe. Folks, get yourself, first of all, put all your stuff on a Ledger Nano S. Second of all, have an antivirus. Have a Pure VPN. I keep telling you, I'm going to put this Pure VPN in the you need a virtual private network. This one's called Pure VPN. I'm going to put this in the top of the link in the top of the description of this video. Right now, they've got it where you can get 5 years for just $10.95, $1.49 a month. So go check that out if you haven't, if you don't have a VPN yet. I mentioned this today just because I really did. I'm looking for a new show to watch. Me and my wife, every once in a while, will just come up dry with shows, and we're really looking for a show right now. And I think based on what everybody said, and I appreciate everybody's input, the Terminal List is the one I'm going to watch next. Just wanted to point that out. Then there was this from Charles Gasparino, chatter on Capitol Hill. This isn't a political thing, folks. I'm just saying this is kind of weird to me. Chatter on Capitol Hill, the Dems will use Joe Biden's COVID diagnosis as an excuse for him not to run in 2024. He will suffer bouts of long COVID because of his age. It's a face-saving way for him to bow out, and it's speculation, of course, but it's making the rounds. And I said, we live in lying times. And this person says, we've always lived in lying times. New information just travels faster. Then there was this. This is the official cool guy of the Digital Asset Investor channel. His name is Mr. Intuitive. Watch.
What's up, fam? You know we call it like it is. We've been on our own this entire time. Mind you, 70,000 strong. Now we got this Ryan Selkis coming out saying, never thought I'd say this, but let's go Ripple. It's the definition of wishy-washy. Somebody who hops on the bandwagon. Fickle. Somebody who roots for the front runner. A glory hunter. Not to be confused with the MILF hunter. Ryan could be blown over by the wind. But this cool guy will never forget and doesn't need Ryan Selkis. So let's keep going. Do not give up. We're winning.
I love it. The official cool guy knows exactly who he is. And it's not even Friday. SEC mystery announcement. Speaking of Ryan Selkis, who blocked me because he did not like the truth. The crypto versus, he tweeted this last night. The crypto versus SEC battle is about to pick up some serious steam tomorrow. This guy has to know something. I'm wondering if there's an SEC mystery announcement. We shall see. Speaking of the SEC, Squawk Box had Gary Gensler on this morning to throw him softballs. And he's talking here about, we've already heard the neutral on tech bullcrap. Let's go to this one. Listen to this bullcrap.
Separately, wanted to talk to you about crypto because we've seen crypto carnage across the board. Celsius is an example, being sued now, allegations of inflating its price, et cetera. You obviously just had a settlement with BlockFi. What's the next step, and are we going to just be seeing a sort of a litany of these type of settlements and deals?
Look, you're focusing on what's called crypto lending, when the public is lending their assets to a financial institution.
Which is what Ethereum's doing right now, and Gary Gensler's doing nothing. Joseph Lubin brags about their lending products. Andrew Keys brags about their lending products. Chris Dixon brags about how your Ethereum's going to have all this DeFi and lending. Gary Gensler's doing nothing.
Financial institution is trying to make some spreads and so forth. And we have focused on this area because many of these firms, like BlockFi that settled, may well be investment companies taking hundreds of thousands or millions of customers' funds, pulling it together, and then relending it. It sounds a little like an investment company or a bank, you might say. And some of these are offering pretty high returns, 4%, 8%, 10% returns. And how are they doing that? What stands behind those promises? And so we're going to continue to try to work with the industry, get these firms properly registered under the securities laws, and protect the public.
Now, folks, what I'm about to show you should piss you off as bad as it pissed me off, which is why I put this together. When he had Gary Gensler on that show this morning, they started talking about Nancy Pelosi and whether there's a whole controversy about her husband buying NVIDIA stock, and then on the lead up to there being congressional legislation that would be beneficial to the chip makers. Okay? Look, let me make it clear, because this isn't a political show. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican or some new party, libertarian, whatever. I don't care. If you are a member of Congress being paid by the public, and you are going there to represent the public in your district, and you have information about stocks, any stock or any investment period that you wouldn't have if you weren't in Congress, and you buy that stock on that information, you ought to not be reprimanded. You ought to be in prison for years. Because that's what would happen to the people that sent you there if they did the same thing. Ask Martha Stewart. You ought to be in prison. And I don't care what party, has nothing to do with it. I got past all the party stuff a long time ago myself, because I think the corruption is rampant in our government now, and it makes me sick. It makes me sick because of the when I'm long gone, my kids are going to have to, if it's like this now, what is it going to be like when I'm gone? My kids have to live through this, and their kids have to live through this. And I want them to have an honest and an honorable United States of America, and they do not have it right now. So if my little contribution is to call these pieces of garbage out, then so be it. If that helps my kids in any way, that's what I'm here to do. So here you go. I put this together, and I want to make sure everybody understands what you're watching. The first thing you're watching is Andrew Ross Sorkin throw a softball to Gary Gensler and not challenge him at all. And he brings up the Nancy Pelosi thing. The next thing you're going to see is Nancy Pelosi bragging about her 15-year advisor in Congress being unanimously picked by the Senate in Congress, okay, to appoint this guy as an SEC commissioner. And then the final thing you're going to see is Gary Gensler welcoming him as a commissioner. And then you need to ask yourself, is Gary Gensler and this SEC going to do anything with Nancy Pelosi's 15-year advisor there as a commissioner to hold her or her husband accountable for anything? And the answer is a resounding no, and you know it and I know it, and that's why these people have to go. They have to go.
We keep talking about Congress and stock trading. Nancy Pelosi, of course, or her husband, I should say, trading in NVIDIA recently. You care deeply, I believe, and part of your mandate is to deal with the credibility of the markets. Clearly, this undermines the credibility of the markets to see folks in Congress trading back and forth. We're talking about it. People are raising questions. Is there something that you can be doing?
Well, I leave those decisions to Congress, but I agree with you that markets are based on trust.
By the way, when I say they have to go, I'm talking about all of them. I'm talking about the Nancy Pelosi's husband, the Andrew Ross Sorkins, who are helping to aid and abet this whole thing by not challenging these people. Your job in the media is supposed to be to hold power accountable. That's part of the job of the media as it was set up in this country. They do none of it. They're carrying the water for these people. They're just as culpable as the people doing it. And Gary Gensler, well, that's a given. He needs to go.
Finance broadly is based on trust and whether regular investors feel they're getting a fair shake and they have these similar opportunities to the largest investors. We do have a role in terms of something Congress passed many years ago called the Stock Act, and we do play a role along with the Department of Justice, and this is about how members actually may trade in the markets.
Madam Speaker, I rise today to honor a departing member of my office, my longtime senior advisor, Jaime Lizarraga. This is a moment of great official pride, as last week he was unanimously confirmed by the Senate to serve as a commissioner of the Securities and Exchange Commission. His departure is also bittersweet for me, as he's been an invaluable member of our team for the last 15 years.
And there's Gary Gensler welcoming him to the party of not holding any of these people accountable. This video has been watched 21,000 times. I'm predicting that video is at 100,000 by the time some of these talk shows who should cover it, if they want to do the right thing tonight, we shall see. Now, this came across today. Ex-Coinbase manager arrested in U.S. crypto insider trading case. And then Cowboy Crypto put this out. U.S. authorities arrested a former Coinbase Global Inc. product manager for allegedly leaking insider information to help his brother and a friend buy tokens just before they were listed on a crypto exchange, according to people familiar with the matter. Let me tell you what, folks. If this guy has done anything illegal, then you better believe that the people around ETHgate have done something illegal. All of these people, there was insider information all over the place on that thing, and you better believe that has been done. And so there's no way that this guy should get in any trouble if those guys don't get in trouble. Next, wanted to show you this. This is from James Rule. I'm gonna just play the very beginning of this, okay? Hold on, I'm gonna have to stop. Sorry, I got I got interrupted because my son had chicken nuggets in the oven, and he was knocking on my door saying they were ready, and they were not ready. I know when chicken nuggets are ready. So anyway, the things that interrupt you in the middle of a show here. Okay, so then you got Jimmy Valley. James Rule put this up. Jimmy Valley was on this guy's show. This guy's an attorney. Norm Pattis is his name. He's an attorney. I want you to listen to what he says at the beginning of this. If I can get it to freaking play, here we go.
I mean, one of the pivotal questions is how is it possible that William Hinman, who was able to hide his relationship with banks having an interest in regulated currencies from people when he gave a speech in 2018? And then why did the SEC go to such extraordinary lengths to hide those tracks in the course of litigation? And what, if anything, is Congress going to do about the fact that a federal judge rebuked the SEC? And let's face it, the SEC, ladies and gentlemen, is designed to assure that you can have confidence in the markets you invest in. If you have if you have a mutual fund, if you make investments on your own, you're relying on professionals in a highly regulated context to advise you. And the SEC is your insurance policy that these people aren't crooks. But listen to what this judge...
All right. So then he goes into what the judge said about the hypocrisy of what they were arguing in the case. But the point is that, are you feeling confident in this SEC? How could you? How could you? This is a joke. It's a total joke. Well, speaking of jokes, here's John Deaton and Jeremy Kaufman from Library. Listen to this clip.
But it was great to see that the judge asking these questions. Well, what if Library had never made a promotional statement and 75% of the purchasers were buying it for consumptive use? Would it still be a security? Now, the SEC said yes. Now that every person in the cryptocurrency industry should be terrified by that statement. And they also said it wouldn't matter if we weren't developing it. So in court, the SEC said, if we didn't develop the token, if the vast majority of the purchasing was for consumptive, non-speculative use, and the company never made a public statement, would a token sale still be a security? The answer is yes. Well, what does that mean? That means every sale of Ethereum is a security. That means every sale of every crypto asset, with the possible exception of Bitcoin, every other one, okay, is a security. That is what the SEC was in court saying today. So every single, and by the way, I'm sweating because I don't have the AC on and it's 90-something degrees in here, so I'm not nervous, but it's very hot. But every official, every person in the cryptocurrency industry should be terrified by what the SEC said in court today, because they threw down and they said, if you are in the United States and you are selling cryptocurrency and you are running a cryptocurrency company, you are breaking the law. If you are a cryptocurrency developer who has sold a token that you are developing, you are breaking the law. Okay, that is what they said in court today.
Wow. So SEC terror, folks. European Central Bank raises interest rates for the first time in 11 years as global inflation surges. And then finally, I wanted you to see this. Wait till you... Wheezy put this out, said Freudian slip. This is a guy at that Bloomberg Live from the other day.
The next big asset to get tokenized will be the U.S. Treasury market. Really? Well, how about sorry, I think that the most important next asset. I'm not predicting that the Treasury market will get tokenized, but I think if you look at the foundational assets in the financial world, you have the dollar as a global reserve currency, and then you have the most important asset, which are Treasury.
There you go, folks. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that U.S. Treasuries are going to be tokenized. Thanks for listening.